Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
We'll have part 2 on a series of Farmington's water conservation order. Also, the city of Piedmont actually has a budget surplus for this year. Plus, the time to line up financial aid at local colleges is now. All of these stories, and when will we see some precipitation?
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins, and here are the top stories that we're working on for you at this hour. The city of Farmington remains under a water conservation order. Now, as we reported yesterday, the order was triggered when Public Works Director Larry Lacey noticed a significant drop in the city's storage tanks. In addition, the city of Farmington is seeing less production from its water wells. Lacey tells 18 Eyewitness News the conservation order has helped improve the situation, but there's one thing people should avoid.
Well, the best thing that they can do for us is to avoid using water to water their grass. The order allows watering your garden and watering any shrubs that you have, but just watering your grass consumes a whole lot of water.
Now, Lacey says the conservation order has helped the city achieve measured improvement in the storage tank water levels. However, he says there could have been significant problems if the drain on the stored water had continued.
Water levels are coming up well with conserving the water. So I don't believe that we're in any imminent danger. Certainly we would have been if we had not issued that order. What we could have ended up with would be a situation where we don't have adequate water pressure in the system, and we would have had to have issued a citywide boil water alert, or we could have ended up where we didn't have sufficient storage to fight a fire.
Lacey says given the low water level in the aquifer, there is no timetable for when the conservation order will be lifted. Well, now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. Still hot, huh, Dustin?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. It is hot out there. It's been hot all day, and we're going to continue to see hot times for the next several days here in southeast Missouri. 99 right now in Cape Girardeau, as well as in St. Genevieve. 101 up in Festus, 100 in Ellington, Van Buren at 99 right now, and 99 in Poplar Bluff. As we head through the evening hours, partly sunny skies, 7 p.m. only down to 97, 90 degrees by 9 p.m. clear skies, and 82 in clear skies by midnight. And we are still under the excessive heat warning. That's in effect until Saturday at 10 p.m. All these counties shaded in red are under that warning. I'll give you more details on the heat that's coming and possibly some relief. All those details coming up later in weather.
The city of Piedmont has a budget surplus for fiscal year 2013. Contrary to a published report, the city does not have a $90,000 deficit. Mayor Bill Kirkpatrick tells 18 Eyewitness News that there was a miscalculation on a bond payment.
The way they're scheduled, you've got to kind of look kind of deep to see how the money goes in and comes back out. It's a little bit complicated.
And as 18 Eyewitness News reported earlier, while a preliminary budget estimated the payments at $700,000, the correct figure is about $500,000. Kirkpatrick says the majority of that amount will be covered between the economic development tax and the surcharge paid by a local food manufacturer.
Actually, that deficit, $9,000 deficit, is turned into a surplus.
The city of Piedmont's 2013 fiscal year started on July 1st. Well, construction continues at a record pace on the new Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center. Director of Marketing Tiffany Jenkins tells 18 Eyewitness News that the new facility will open its doors soon after the first of the year.
We are still on track to open in January. So probably be starting mid to end of January is when all the activities are probably going to take place around opening. But by January 31st, we will be in the building and operating full force at that point.
The 7-story, $173 million facility will feature 250 private rooms. Tiffany tells us that considering other recently announced improvements at other hospitals, Poplar Bluff Regional is setting the standards.
You know, you've heard, some of the other announcements of the other hospitals in the area, and we're excited that our project is a higher dollar amount project, meaning more state-of-the-art equipment and, a bigger building, and we're getting it done in literally record time.
The new medical center is located on a 62-acre site on the south side of Oak Grove Road between the Highway 67 bypass and Shelby Road in Poplar Bluff. Work continues as the Missouri Department of Transportation replaces 2 bridges on Route 49 in Reynolds County. MoDOT District Construction Engineer Andy Meyer tells 18 Eyewitness News that the spans over Ottery Creek and the Ottery Creek overflow are about a mile apart. Meyer says that they're using a new technology, hybrid composite beams on the overflow bridge.
They're made of fiberglass. It's a fiberglass shell with the rebar already in it. They're manufactured that way. They're hauled out to the site. They set the beams on the substructure of the bridge, and then they fill them up with concrete.
Meyer says the older style beams had to be trucked in and placed by a very large crane.
These things are light enough. A couple big guys could actually pick them up off the truck and set them. Obviously, we'll use a small crane or a trackhoe to do that instead. But really, the neat thing about that is the fact that they are basically a plastic shell that gets filled up on site with a concrete product, and that makes our beams for the bridge. So that's kind of a new technology we're experimenting with.
Meyer expects the new bridges to be in place and open by mid-August. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, for those folks who didn't get to see any fireworks on the 4th, we'll give you a taste. That story is coming up next on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're looking for quality home furnishings, appliances, and more, look no further than Heartland Furniture and Appliance. Heartland Furniture and Appliance offers great low prices every day and 6 months same as cash financing. No hassle leasing and great customer service. With 3 locations to better serve you, the customer. In Doniphan, Dexter, and Piedmont on both sides of Main Street. Heartland Furniture and Appliance.
Sing a song about the Heartland. Sing a song about my life.
Oh, the blood of Jesus washes. Let it wash you this morning. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. With the blood, it is my victory.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins, Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp, and Jeremy Martin with sports. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
Hot temperatures and large crowds were the order of the day at the 4th of July festivities throughout the 18 Eyewitness News viewing area. In Fredericktown, Azalea and J.C. Parks were buzzing with activity as residents relished the festivities, including Civil War reenactors, a dunking tank, and water slide. In Bismarck, Freedom Fest enjoyed a terrific turnout with folks enjoying the parade, entertainment, and the kiddie rides, with fireworks capping off the evening. With the state of the economy, many college students are relying even more on financial aid to continue their studies. Financial aid director at Mineral Area College, Denise Sebastian, says the window for students to apply for assistance is quickly closing.
If a student's planning to enroll for fall, they would want to have that process completed no later than August the 1st.
Denise says students have more time before they have to register for their classes.
Obviously, we like them to enroll prior to school starting, but students who decide at the last minute do have the option to enroll in classes up until a class is met twice.
Denise says one thing that's different than in years past is if a student's financial aid form is selected for a verification, they need to get a tax return transcript from the IRS rather than just bringing in their tax return. At Three Rivers College in Poplar Bluff, Director of Student Services Marcia Fields says the sooner students apply for assistance, the better their chance for avoiding having to pay.
There's still time to get their financial aid in. Just the longer they wait before classes begin, the more likely they are to maybe have to pay to sign up for a payment plan or to pay something up front and then being reimbursed by the government once their financial aid does come in for this semester.
Marcia says Three Rivers has also recently instituted new rules regarding students' transcripts.
We're requiring students to submit their transcripts before they actually are admitted to the college, which is new to us. As an open institution, we've historically allowed students to come to us, and allow them time to get in their transcripts after they have enrolled in classes.
Marcia says the school had to change their policy because all state and federally funded institutions are now required to set an admission policy that students have to have a diploma or GED to attend classes. St. Francis County Road Supervisor Wendell Jarvis is asking for the public's help in spotting problems. Jarvis says given the amount of bridges, culverts, and miles of road in St. Francis County, they're not able to check everything every day.
Because we got 410 miles of road. We got 60 bridges. I don't even know how many culverts we actually have, but it's up in the hundreds of culverts. So they're going to get stopped up, and we're not going to see them all the time, because we don't travel every road every day. We just can't.
Jarvis gives us some examples of what people should call them about.
So if they see a culvert stopped up, a bridge stopped up, if they see a tree across the road, even if they see a pothole, that might be there a week or so that we might not have took care of yet, give us a call. That's what we're there for. We work off taxpayers' money, and we try to make sure that it's used as wisely as possible.
Jarvis encourages folks to call him at 315-9290 to make him aware of road, bridge, and culvert problems around St. Francis County. And still to come on 18 Eyewitness News, Vaughn Carricker joins us for Ask the Attorney.
More hot weather is on the way for southeast Missouri. Details coming up next in weather.
When someone comes in a Mineral Area's emergency department, our focus is giving them the best treatment in the quickest manner possible. We track every single patient, sending the doctors information before they even walk in the room. We have dedicated X-ray and CT equipment in our emergency department. We don't have to waste any time running all over the hospital. We know that minutes count in an emergency, and you can count on ER Plus at Mineral Area Regional Medical Center.
Storm Tracker 18 Weather is brought to you by CNC Distributing.
Devastating tornadoes can destroy your home in just seconds. Are you and your family protected? I'm Clinton Bailey with CNC Distributing, and I want to introduce you to the best storm shelter anywhere. Our storm shelters will seat up to 15 people comfortably. They have lights and ventilation, and most importantly, they will save your family from the devastation of tornadoes. Remember back in the day about everyone had some sort of storm shelter, and now you can too. Let me show you how affordable our storm shelters are. Call me, Clinton, at 573-330-8869.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. More heat is on the way here in southeast Missouri. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. As you can see, plenty of heat is here to stay. We have an excessive heat warning that's in effect until 10 p.m. on Saturday, with hot times continuing in southeast Missouri with a lot of sunshine. But as I've been saying for the last couple days, there is some relief in sight for those that are hot-natured, as I am. 99 right now here in Cape Girardeau, 99 in St. Genevieve, 100 in Fredericktown. It's just hot out there, and it's been hot all day. 99 in Poplar Bluff, as well as in Van Buren. Piedmont right now at 100, as well as in Ellington. And here at the station, we have a current temperature of 100 degrees. Feels like 102 under a partly cloudy sky. Dew point 65, 31% humidity, and a southwest wind at 2 miles per hour. Another warm day is expected for tomorrow. More warm air pushing up from the south. Plenty of sunshine to go along with it, and that's going to continue through the weekend. So for tonight, we're going to continue to see clear skies, low of 75, 74 in St. Genevieve, 73 in Festus, 72 in Potosi, 71 in Van Buren, Piedmont 74, and for tomorrow, partly sunny skies with a high of 104, 103 in St. Genevieve and Fredericktown, 102 in Piedmont, Van Buren 102 and 103 in Poplar Bluff. The next several days are looking like this here in southeast Missouri. As we look at the extended forecast, as I promised, some relief is on the way. 102 on Saturday, partly sunny skies, partly sunny on Sunday with a high of 98. Just a little bit cooler, but look at that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, high of 90. Partly sunny skies on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. And on Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high of 92. However, on Sunday, there is a chance of some showers and thunderstorms Sunday afternoon, late Sunday afternoon into the evening hours, and on Monday and Tuesday. Another look at our weekend forecast here in southeast Missouri. 102 for your daytime high on Saturday, partly sunny skies. A little bit cooler on Sunday with a high of 98. And that's a check of your storm tracker weather forecast. More details are located at froggy96online.com. Just click on the weather tab. Fred, back to you.
Thanks, Dustin. Maybe some relief by the weekend. Well, now Fred Dawkins Jr. is here with Ask the Attorney.
In today's Ask the Attorney, Vaughn Carricker joins us to talk about veterans' benefits.
Well, one of the things that people don't realize is that anyone can help a veteran fill out the forms under certain circumstances. For instance, if you are not accredited by the VA, you can assist one veteran one time only in your lifetime. Otherwise, if you're accredited by the VA, for instance, a Veterans Services Organization, a VFW, an American Legion, you can help veterans fill out the application for benefits. The other person who can help is a VA accredited attorney, like me. It is illegal to charge a fee to prepare or submit an application for benefits to the VA. But one thing you want to do is make sure that the person who helps you understands the VA system. It is complicated. There is a mountain of paperwork. And veterans who've gone at it by themselves have ended up being in the system for a decade or more. Now, there are advantages to having an attorney assist a veteran with a claim. For one thing, we can make sure that your assets are protected and organized to prevent you from being denied right up front. Another thing that we can do is that when your claim is denied, we can gather evidence and prepare a legal argument to help you in your appeal. We represent you before the VA if your claim is denied. And another thing we can do is represent you if the award you receive is not correct. One thing that people do wonder about is how long it would take them to get their first check. So you've reached the end point. You've applied, maybe you've been denied, I've represented you and helped you get approval for your claim at last, including retroactive benefits. Now you're waiting for the first check. That could take as much as 2 to 6 months once it's approved. Now, if I'm representing a client who has dementia or memory loss problems, then the VA will probably insist on meeting my client in person along with the representative for my client, who's not me, usually a family member or someone appointed by the family.
We must remind you that the choice of an attorney is an important one and should not be made solely based on advertising. For 18 Eyewitness News, I'm Fred Dawkins Jr.
I'm Stacy Johnson. Everybody loves shopping, but do you always have to buy everything new? I've got a list of 5 things you should never buy new, and they're just ahead on Money Talks News.
Your health is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy of Deloge. We're caring for you and about you is our business. From taking time to explain your medication, offering a caring touch, to a full line of medical equipment, supplies, and diabetic shoes. We'll help you understand your options and assist you with Medicare drug plan enrollment with a comfortable waiting area, convenient drive-through or free delivery. Caring for our neighbors is our business. Your locally owned Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy just off of Highway 67 at the Deloge exit. When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Arch Air Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
Odds are you sometimes spend too much on things you could be getting for less. Sometimes you do it for convenience, sometimes because you're not aware of less expensive or even free alternatives. Well, today, Money reporter Stacy Johnson has some quick ideas that could put some extra money in your pocket.
The main reason we make money is so we can spend it. Nothing wrong with that. But would you purposely pay thousands of extra dollars just to have everything new? I mean, granted, buying new does make it more convenient and it's easier to get exactly what you're looking for. But still, when it comes to some things, especially expensive things, man, you just gotta buy it used. At the top of the list, cars. Anyone who's bought one knows how much you can save by buying used, and you can pay less for insurance that way too. Same with houses. While new is nice, you can normally get more features for less money when you buy pre-owned. Other advantages? You're more likely to be able to negotiate a deal and more likely to have mature landscaping. And what about books? Ignoring the fact that they're already free at the library, even if you feel like you need to own a book, you can go to a used bookstore and pay half price. You can also find them online. Then there's timeshares. Buying new from the developer costs way more than buying one from a hapless owner looking to sell. You can sometimes buy these for pennies on the dollar. There's certainly no shortage of owners looking to get out. Recreational things like boats and RVs, also good used buys for 3 reasons. They're really expensive new, they depreciate rapidly, and if someone's selling, they might not have used them much. And what about sporting gear? It's hard to imagine how weights can go bad. And it's easy to imagine how many people are trying to get out from under them on sites like Craigslist or FreeCycle. Bottom line, while new is nice, when there's big money or rarely used stuff involved, go used. And that's just a few examples. I've got a bigger list right here at moneytalksnews.com. Check it out, then see if you can add to it. I'm Stacy Johnson.
And as Stacy said, he's got more information and links at his website. To get there, just go to moneytalksnews.com.
And coming up in sports, Matt Holliday creates some fireworks with his bat as the Cardinals down the Rockies. As the trade deadline approaches, the Cardinals will be looking for a starting pitcher, and the St. Louis Blues have added defensive depth. These stories and more coming up in sports on 18 Eyewitness News.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
For more information, call 1-800-587-709. This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News with Jeremy Martin.
The Cardinals celebrated July 4th with a 4-1 victory over the Colorado Rockies. Adam Wainwright fired off a quality start, giving up just 1 earned run over 6 innings, and the bullpen held Colorado in check the rest of the way. Matt Holliday continued his hot hitting since June 29th. He has a .571 average with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. David Freese burnished his all-star credentials, adding a 2-run single in the 8th inning. The Redbirds and the Rockies wind up their 4-game series tonight at Busch Stadium. With the non-waiver trade deadline just 4 weeks away and knowing Chris Carpenter will not play at all this season, General Manager John Mozeliak says getting a starting pitcher is the top priority. However, the market for starting pitcher, as Mozeliak described it just days ago, is fairly limited. As the month progresses, however, more teams are likely to take on the role of seller, perhaps pushing other available starters into the trade market. While the Cardinals are not desperate for a starter, they're Their desire to upgrade is no secret. St. Louis anticipates plugging Jaime Garcia back into the rotation by August, but the Cardinals also have innings count concerns to consider. Both Adam Wainwright, who did not pitch in 2011, and Lance Lynn, who threw only 120 innings last season, are having their workloads closely monitored. In the case of Lynn, the Cardinals would prefer to eventually move him back to the bullpen during the second half. Mozeliak told reporters, quote, "As we look forward to the trade deadline, if we could find a starter, that would make the most sense for us," end quote. And the St. Louis Blues have added defensive depth, signing 3 free agents for the 2012-2013 season. St. Louis native Mike McKenna is a goaltender who's played in the Tampa Bay and Ottawa organizations. He signed to a 1-year, 2-way contract with his hometown Blues. Defensive men Taylor Chorney and Scott Ford signed identical deals. The contracts allow the Blues to start the players in Peoria and then call them up to St. Louis when they're ready or when they're needed. And that's a look at sports. Fred and Dustin, back to you.
Well, we got through the 4th of July holiday without any fires being really bad because of fireworks. Most communities had the ban on the fireworks. Most communities and counties now either have an ordinance or a resolution restricting any burning whatsoever. Farmington is under a conservative order for their water, and well, it's just kind of real dry and hot outside. And if you didn't get to see fireworks, Dustin, we took our cameras to Bonne Terre.
And the Bonne Terre show was actually pretty good. A lot of people there and spread out through Bonne Terre. I sat on one side of the highway to watch them, and our crews were actually where